Quattro.
Audi with Quattro all-wheel drive. Track one down at a dealer near you.
Use MSN to get online. Use it to plan a fishing trip. Use it to buy a graphite fishing rod and hand-tied flies. And searching for basic fishing techniques might be really useful too. Want an internet service you can really use? MSN from Microsoft is a great alternative to AOL. MSN, more useful every day.
Now, from Evening Edition, here's your local forecast. Always on the 8s of every hour.
Currently in your area, 27 degrees with light snow. The forecast for your area. Expect fair skies Monday through Wednesday with temperatures in the 40s on Monday.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it. You're watching the Weather Channel, Evening Edition.
On Sunday, the eastern half of the nation will be digging or either drying up, but the weather will become pretty active in the Pacific Northwest. A new storm rolls in off the coast, which means another healthy shot of snow and rain.
Meanwhile, snow fell in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic on Saturday. How much of it fell? We'll give you a peek in a moment. Hello and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Lisa Moser. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to begin evening edition here, West Coast in the Pacific Northwest coast, where things have been quite active today. We've been looking at an onshore flow. The energy will soon not only be spreading rain showers across the western parts of Washington and Oregon, and even as far south as the extreme northern areas of California. The Cascades, snow levels are pretty low right now across Washington State, down to about 1,500 feet. Look for them to get a little lower, and we will also be looking at the snow across the extreme northern mountains of California, where the snow levels are expected to come down to around 3,000 feet. So for travelers, this is going to be a very slow go because lots and lots of snow. Some of us may be looking at a foot of snow or more by this time tomorrow. And you're not alone. We're going to look for Spokane to even see maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow in the area. And winter storm warnings have been posted for the eastern parts of Washington State as well as the Sawtooth Range. Get ready. Very impressive rain totals. Let's talk about the rain. Quileute, Washington, a little over an inch and still raining in the area. North Bend, Oregon, not quite an inch at 0.71. Seattle, Washington, it's still raining in the area, 0.2. 2/10 of an inch of rainfall. So this is a big wet weather maker, but also a mountain snow maker. Now, in addition to the precipitation, we have the wind to concern ourselves with. For tonight, gale warnings have been posted from the Strait of Juan de Fuca down to Florence, Oregon, and that does mean that the coastal shoreline is getting beat up pretty good. Lots of heavy surf as well as possibly some coastal flooding. We'll be watching out for this. Here you can see the energy coming on board now, and of course, low cloud decks are given poor visibility and lots of water on the roadways. Temperatures, well, 39 in Seattle right now, 41 in Portland. Pretty chilly in the interior Rockies, 18 in Lander, 23 in Salt Lake City, but pretty mild across the southwest. Los Angeles, 50 degrees at this hour, and we're looking at partly clear skies. Across the midsection of the country, we've been pretty dry. We're not complaining too much about precip. Now, we did have a system to roll through to the east, and just on the back side, St. Louis, we saw some precip here today, but we rebound. Temperature's currently 31 degrees. This is what looked like a little bit earlier today. Kids in East St. Louis, Missouri, got a nice surprise when they woke up this morning. About 3 to 4 inches of snow fell overnight, making a nice playground for many of us who have not seen snow in a while. It's been pretty dry out towards the midsection of the country. That was a pretty good snowball. Did you see that? Oh, kids got an arm. 28 is the current temperature in Chicago. Pretty mild. Some colder air trying to slide southward, not doing a very good job. It's currently 1 degrees in International Falls. Our frontal boundary trying to ease in that colder air is going to slide more to the east, more so than southward. But watch out, some lake-enhanced snow with our system is very likely from Sault Ste. Marie over to Mackinac County and getting into Traverse City in upstate Michigan. So maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow, poor visibility, some blowing snow and some drifting snow. Very, very likely through tonight and into tomorrow. 35, just looking for cloudy skies in Chicago. No snow. Omaha, 41 for the high temperature on Sunday. We'll talk more about your forecast in a moment, but let's check in with that big, humongous system to the northeast. Dave?
And it came out of the Midwest, Lisa. There it is. And a humongous number of people in a large area of real estate ended up with a snow cover this past 24 hours, including you in Hastings, Nebraska, 0.8 of an inch of snow. St. Louis picks up 7 inches of snow here in Jackson, Kentucky. I knew I'd remember that. Several inches in southern Ohio. And now our storm has made it to the East Coast. Northern half is snow. The southern half is rain. Here in the Boston metropolitan area, it is snowing outside. Isn't it something to see that? And it's a beautiful snow. You can do a little cross-country skiing on Commonwealth Avenue. And look at this. They were playing in the snow out here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The face-off between the Oakland Raiders and New England Patriots got off to a snowy start. The pregame activities were hampered a bit by all the snow here at Foxborough Stadium. Tonight's the last game to be played here, and ironically, the first game to be played at Foxborough Stadium was against the Raiders, and that was way back, who knows when, I don't know when. High temperature in Boston was 30, so in Oakland, home of the Raiders, it was 29 degrees warmer than it was here in Boston, but the Patriots beat the Raiders today, and congratulations. We've got about 3 inches of snow now on the ground, and it's sticking everywhere now that the traffic is thinned out around town. Same story here in Providence, in Hartford, New Haven. I-95 is snow-covered throughout the region, so travel is hazardous, to say the least. Springfield with some light snow, but you can obviously see as low pressure begins to make its hasty retreat out into the Atlantic Ocean, the drier air is now filtering in. Good news for the folks here in Binghamton, where you got a foot of snow earlier today. Interstate 88 was reported closed for a time, then reopened. A lot of motor vehicle accidents out here, so I urge you to be careful. Here in New York City, the snowfall is tapering off, at least in North Jersey right now. We've had about 3 to 4 inches in the metropolitan area. We'll end up with 4 to 5, perhaps a little more than that out on the island. And here in Philadelphia, also about 5 inches. Rain has changed over to snow in South Jersey, so watch it on the Garden State Parkway there. And here in Baltimore and D.C., it's over. Partly cloudy skies, the forecast for you. As the snow moves out over Delaware Bay, rain in Norfolk and Richmond. We've had a healthy amount of rain in areas that really need it. This ground is really parched. So we picked up anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain. And yes, it is needed rain. A few pick cities, Atlanta and Rome, Georgia, and also Clemson, South Carolina. Over 2 inches of rain last 24 hours. That's more than you've seen since June or July of last year. The rain's now over in all those 3 cities, and the cold front now through Jacksonville with a gust of wind. This cold front will begin to weaken, and then the cooler air moves in behind it. 18 degrees cooler in Houston right now, and in Dallas, 6 degrees cooler. You'll have a partly sunny day here in the Big D. Oklahoma City looking just as good. Well, here's your forecast with Lisa.
Okay, well, let's take a look at that 24-hour forecast. You know, some of us are not going to see any change. Across the midsection of the country, we do have a piece of energy. It's going to take another, well, 12 to 18 hours before we really see this area of low pressure get going. So tomorrow night, just look for the wind to shift a little bit across the midsection.
Everything. Go on. I got it all.